This is awesome.
Oh, fuck. Hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talon Mix. It's a Smallville recap podcast. I'm Brian. Zach is here. Say hi, Zach, before I give a spiel.
Hi.
First and foremost, I am a little sick because I have a toddler, and my toddler and I play catch with this same cough. Back and fucking forth. And it's my turn with it, and I'm going to give it back to that little piece of shit.
That's how it becomes strong.
Yes, that's
You're doing your duty.
I'm going to try to cough and sneeze and wheeze away from the microphone, but if you're like, oh man, Brian sounds fucking disgusting, that's why. Second off, what's this, a piece of news? A piece of news has come across my desk. The Smallville news desk has been a little inactive as of late. Surely, Zach, this is an update about the animated series.
Yeah, it can only be good news.
It can only be good news. I have here from TMZ, Smallville star Tom Welling, from hero to zero, ...
Oh my God.
All caps, arrested for DUI. The simple version here is this was Sunday night. Mr. Tom Welling was pulled over just after midnight in Eureka, California, and he was allegedly driving under the influence. His blood alcohol level reportedly at 0.08%, which is pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up, I think.
Wait. 0.08? I think that's right at the limit, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I thought it was 4 for some reason.
Oh, maybe it's 4. Either way.
Either-
Look, I don't think we want to get into. I mean, it's a serious thing. I hope he's okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. It's the online reaction.
It's
that we
so
probably wanna
yeah.
talk about.
In regards to the DUI itself, if this was a mistake, I hope a light public flogging is enough to not make that mistake again. If this is indicative of a larger problem Tom Welling is facing, I hope this is the impetus to get the help that he needs with it.
Yes.
That is all I have to say in regards.
Glad no one got hurt.
Exactly. So going around is his mugshot. And all of the takes on, and the mugshot, it's Tom Welling. It looks like he's kind of drunk and it's after midnight and he's in a police station.
Right.
It's not the best picture he's ever taken, but the amount of people commenting of like, yo, he looks like shit now.
Right. It just means they haven't seen him in 20 years.
But
Because
also,
not that he looks like shit now, but like he just looks like what he looks like now, but he's a little bit drunk.
Right.
It's not. He doesn't look like Nick Nolte.
no, he looks like a 47-year-old man with very good genes who
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Who's not? Yeah. A 47-year-old man who's not being paid millions of dollars to stay in Superman shape.
Right, yeah.
Right.
He looks like he's 47. He's had a couple of kids.
Mhm.
And he spent 10
And
years
he
of his
drinks
life
beer
inside.
sometimes.
And he drinks
Like,
a
that's,
lot
you
of
know.
beer sometimes. But yeah, it's just wild. I don't know what it is about people that is like. The last time I saw, because Smallville was a popular show, but a lot of people probably haven't thought of Tom Welling since they watched Smallville in high school. And the idea, like,
Right.
no, you're right, he doesn't look 25 anymore. Like,
Right. Yeah. He doesn't. He doesn't look like he did when he was at his physical peak in life.
right.
Neither do I.
Right. Yeah, I have
the
news
record.
about you and I.
I mean, the people who tweeted that shit have to be in their 20s, right? They're like,
Right. Or extremely not, and
right, yeah, or just like they're in a basement somewhere. They haven't seen the sun in a year.
right.
Yeah, they have no room to talk about anything.
Yeah, right.
It probably was 2 people, and the that is the best.
That's the
headline
thing.
to
They're
put
just
on this.
picking the meanest things to get a fucking... Because
Yeah.
I saw this headline going around as like, and you're not going to believe what Tom Welling looks like in his mugshot. And then I click into it and I'm like, yeah, no, he looks like Tom Welling, drunk.
I mean, it's not in the top 20 worst celebrity mugshots that I've
Not
seen.
at all.
I mean,
Not
it's
at
even-
all. This will end up being a nothing story and will go away.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Tom,
he didn't brand
hope you're well.
anyone, so he'll always be number 2 until he really steps up.
Tom, hope you're well. Your podcast sucks.
Okay. Whoa. No one heard that, so it's okay.
And no one heard it, so it's okay. You can say that on the internet where no one hears it. So we watched an episode of Smallville this week. It's Fierce. It's the 3rd episode in the 7th season of Smallville, the 135th episode overall. It aired October 11th, 2007. Zach, I remember this being, if not the straw that broke the camel's back between me and Smallville, this is certainly the camel's knees are starting to wobble, Yeah. But upon watching it this time, I gotta say, this is the most fun I've had with a Smallville episode in a while.
It's so interesting to watch these things at different points in your life, because I guess what we wanted from the show was different back then than what we want from it now. I don't know.
I wanted
Because I
Batman
do remember
Begins
being
for
like,
some reason.
This is so stupid. And
Yeah.
it is stupid. Yes, it is stupid. The whole beauty pageant thing is stupid. It's just unbelievably stupid. But this episode is so much better than the last 6
Yeah.
that we've got.
Yeah. It's because those
Just
were
because
those
of
more
sheer
serious ones were
energy.
also stupid, is the thing.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Self-serious, boring, and stupid
Right.
is not as good as silly, lighthearted, and stupid.
Right. It's like we hit some good beats this episode. I've actually come down to, I think this one's okay. I think it's all right.
No, I don't. It's not a bad episode. It's like they have energy. Like something happened. Everyone is actually there and present in this
Something.
episode. All the actors.
What the fuck
There's
was up?
conflict in each scene. It's not like
Yes.
great writing or anything,
No.
but there's conflict. There was no conflict or anything in the last couple episodes. It felt like.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but we got something together. We'll see if we keep it up. I doubt it.
And I think, I don't know, when you're watching it, you're like, oh, we're backtracking to this kind of shit. And I guess that's where the frustration comes from. Like this sort of season 1 Smallville, season 4 Smallville high school type shit. And I get that, because we can't go back. You can't go back to that, really.
No. It's
But
yeah.
Where we were was not working.
Right. High school ended. You have to kind of take the show in a new direction. This was a bad one. Let's rock it back. Let's work it back. I think
Yes.
you've also brought up an interesting point that we could largely be thinking this is wrapping up.
Right, I do. I kind of developed that theory while watching the episode, which is the creators are thinking this is the final season, and so they want to bring it back to old school. We're going back to Smallville. Less Metropolis, more. We're going back to the Lex, kind of doing the Lex Clark thing, but with Kara.
Yeah.
Clark is like mentoring her through that. We're bringing Lana back, Lana and Clark, kind of the light romance stuff. That's what we're trying to do. I think it doesn't work, and they abandon it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
If I remember. But that's what I think the goal was.
It's funny. On paper, I'm a little like, yeah, figure this stuff out. I'm not mad. I ain't mad at this.
Yeah, but I just don't think. Maybe it's because they kind of have to it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
to be
know.
clear, it doesn't work. I'm not sitting here like, this is good material, but
No, we'll see we'll see what happens as it goes.
yeah. So why don't I kick things off? Clark brings Kara to the Centennial Smallville Harvest Festival. We get that. I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten a new establishing shot of Smallville Main Street, and there are extras there,
They're
and
on
it's
location.
It's been a while.
It's got to have been like 3 or 4 seasons since we've been on location on that strip, that Smallville strip.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had establishing shots, and then we're in the Talon for like 4 seasons.
Right. And then last year especially was fucking in the box. Just
and I think that's part of the getting back to what it was thing here, which is like, let's get outdoors, let's get away from Metropolis. And it really shows. This episode looks great.
And it's just the sun, man. Amazing what natural fucking lighting does.
The sun, and then like outdoors at night with like Christmas lighting, lights kind of up.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Good. There were several times I looked over just like, damn, I like this show.
The actors are all in the same room as each other.
Yeah, it's not just half 80 yard over to get exposition out. What the fuck was last? I'm still rattled and shook by last week.
No, the fact that this episode is so much better and it's not great makes me even more confused about the last couple weeks. Like, what happened? We will never know.
We'll never
until we get
know.
Alan Michael on the show.
Yeah. All right. So,
until this episode of Talkville, when they'll get real deep into it.
They'll finally do it. Okay, so Clark brings Kara to the Centennial. My browser keeps giving me pages unresponsive. Like, no, it's responding fine. It's here. I can read it. You don't have to give me this notification. Okay, so Clark brings Kara to the Centennial Smallville Harvest Festival, but she tells him she prefers to search for the blue crystal. I already forgot what this fucking MacGuffin was supposed to be about.
Who cares? This is the MacGuffin that they set up that they don't know what it is.
Yeah. Clark tells her not to use her powers and to just try to fit in. We get a little bit here about that Kara's been flying, and he's like, don't fly. I do like the Kara being mentored by Clark a little bit. They bungle it too bad.
It's as a concept, it's not bad, but I'm trying to put my finger on why it doesn't work. Would it work better if she was actually like a kid, like in high school?
I was also thinking that if we started introducing more high school storylines. I don't know how to do that while also not making Kara the main character of the show.
Right. That's more of a, like, we did a Smallville reboot.
A Scrubs season 9, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if she is there acting wise.
We don't love to like be like, this person is a bad actor.
No, and I don't think she is, but I don't know if she's this character.
It's not great.
It's not working.
It's not working. It's not working.
It is interesting to see, like, because the first few seasons of this show, you know, Tom Welling was not an actor. He was like a model.
Right.
So he was kind of learning as he went. And in the first few seasons, it was all these older veteran actors kind of carrying him.
Yeah.
And it's interesting watching him here. He's totally carrying her because he's totally comfortable and he's come into his own as this character.
Right.
And in these scenes, it's like John Glover with like anyone else. It's like,
yes,
with him with her is just like he's totally comfortable and carrying her and doing his best, but she's not quite there, man. I don't know.
I do think he carries the weight. You know, this is look. I was doing dishes while I was watching this. I only have so much fucking time in the day. And if I was mostly focused on what I was doing, she didn't bother me. She wasn't, scraping a plate or anything or nails on a chalkboard or anything. But yeah, on closer examination.
Hey, look, they're not giving her great dialogue.
Also true.
They're not. But that's true of a lot of people on the show, and
Tom's making it work. Tom makes it work.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's still only a couple episodes in, but it's not working, and it could be. That's, I guess,
that's the
program,
frustrating
as you
part.
call it.
Yes.
It's a good program in theory.
So Kara spots. Just speaking of good programs. Kara spots Jimmy Olsen, who is taking pictures of contestants.
The real Jimmy Olsen.
The real Jimmy Olsen, of course. Taking pictures of contestants and is attracted to him. First off, contestants, I assume we will get to what that means. Stop giving me this fucking pages unresponsive notification. Fuck! I'm going to reload this page while I
mean, I can just recap it. She sees Jimmy Olsen, and she gets a Kryptonian boner.
She gets a
also
Kryptonian
known
boner.
as she gets fire eyes.
So
She
the fire
thinks
eyes.
Jimmy is a hottie. She thinks Jimmy's something special.
So once again, we are back to did we establish like when Jor-El came to Earth a couple of times? Did he just like anytime he got a fucking hard on was like, "Bah!" And then he wasn't like, you got to watch that in the training.
Yeah, he did not.
If you get hard, if you get fucking lubed up, it's gonna be a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, maybe they'll address it in a future episode.
I don't think they will.
I love that they brought that back.
I do too.
I wish maybe they did a little more there, but
once again, though, remember Kara being a fucking bitch about Clark not being able to fly last episode? And I was like, oh, sorry, did you get fucking wet for Jimmy Olsen and then almost burn down the fall festival? Guess boys mature a little faster, huh?
I'm trying to think of what an equivalent power could be for her, where it's like something to do with like moisture coming, you know?
Yeah,
like...
right. Just crying.
Just lava coming out.
That's it. Also, Jimmy Olsen, really? What a funny, like... I'm happy to get some googly eyes back on the show. I'm so happy to have googly eyes.
That's the whole idea is that, like, oh, it's Jimmy? Like,
I guess that's
funny about it.
I guess that's fair.
But, as you pointed out over text, he's, like, the least sexual character on the show. Like, I don't see them having any heat, is the thing.
You can't escape Jimmy Olsen is Superman's little boy friend.
Right. The only character he can be romantically involved with on the show is Chloe.
That's
the
it.
Only
it's it.
Because it's cute.
Right.
It's cute. It's not sexy. That's never been a sexy.
No.
Pairing.
Right.
It's cute.
Right. So three.
It's Chandler and Monica. Okay, we're not.
You got it.
You know, we're not.
Right. Right. Yes. Okay, so three girls: Tyler Crenshaw, Tempest, Drake, and Carly. Those fucking names. Tyler Crenshaw, Tempest, Drake, and Carly arrive shortly later and sign up for the Miss Sweet Corn Beauty Contest. First we've heard of this.
I cannot believe this even made it to the pitch board. I can't believe it. This episode concept. And again, best episode in a while. Had fun with it. This concept is so stupid.
Vaguely the same plot as Muppets Most Wanted.
Vaguely the same plot as 10 other episodes of Smallville that were better.
Right.
I can't believe it in this season. That's what makes me think they were intentionally trying to go back, because we need a stupid one.
Right.
We need like a silly, stupid one that the fans are going to hate.
Right. The three women marching down the street side by side, just serving looks. I've mentioned the moment oftentimes on the show, where my dad sat down and was like, "This is your show. This is your show. You like?
You should be like, it's not normally like this.
It's not normal. No, it's normally serious and boring." Aquaman's here once.
I've had that experience plenty of times with like my brother or someone where I'm watching a show I love that I've told them is really good, and they walk in on like the worst possible episode, and they're like, "You watch this shit."
I've had a handful of like someone like giving me an inch on like, I'll humor you on wrestling for a second. And the problem with wrestling is it sucks a lot of the time.
Yeah, right.
And so it's a lot of head in my hand like, this isn't the good part.
You're like, no, let me make you a mixtape.
Yeah.
Let me show you when it's good.
You know what I've thought of with shows like that? I have a friend who desperately wants me into Star Trek, some of those series, and I'm happy to do it. Like, I like Star Trek. We've talked about it plenty of times. I like the original series more than Next Gen, but I like some stuff. But he's like, I'll make you a list of the episodes that are really good. And I don't think it works that way.
No.
You gotta kind of bathe in it.
No, you need the downs, otherwise the ups aren't ups.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Like I know when they release like whenever a new season of the X-Files comes out or they do a movie, there's always like these articles. Like, here's the essential episodes you have to see.
Yeah.
Like, no, none of those are going to seem like peaks if you don't have the valleys of like 3 episodes that were kind of
Yeah, that's exactly it. You need to get into the rhythms of it. And you need to and a good show, you kind of still like hanging out with these characters even during a not great episode.
Right, totally.
And that
100%.
comes with just kind of bathing in it.
Yep.
There are very few, I don't know about you, I think there are very few straight up bad episodes of Friends just because, like, hey, I like hanging out with those characters
totally.
in my
That's why
living
it was
room.
so successful.
Right.
Those characters. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I guess in the sitcom you could do it, but it wouldn't be like what's essential. It's like what these ones are really funny, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think even a sitcom, it doesn't really work. In like part of it is just when you are in it, when you're in the flow, every episode's perfectly good.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
It's when we were watching Smallville, when we were at our peak into Smallville, we weren't really like, yeah, there were moments we were like, oh, that episode was bad, that episode was bad. But like the experience of watching Smallville was still a highlight. We weren't overanalyzing every fucking episode as we went,
True.
you know?
One thing I have done and I do enjoy is jumping into a show in like season 3 and just going from there.
I love that.
But I'm not jumping around or going back necessarily. I'm just like full steam ahead.
Sure. I'm into that. I
call it the George Lucas Star Wars 77.
Yeah.
Jump in the middle of the story.
Hell yeah. I'm hitting a little different from the sentiment you were talking about, but there's a couple of sitcoms on right now that, I don't know, look vaguely interesting. I'm vaguely interested in checking out. I can't get my heart broken. They gotta bank up 3 seasons before I'm not willing to. There's a St. Denis Medical or whatever. It might be fine. I don't know. I can't stick with it I can't root for it and get my heart broken.
I feel the same way. There was a show a few years ago that was supposed to be really good with Rob Lowe in it. Where he was a lawyer.
Yeah. I was just seeing that coming up of people talking about that one being really underrated.
Spectacular. Lasted 1 season, and I was like, no,
sorry. Can't do it. Yeah, I don't. I've had my heart broken too many times. I can't do it.
Yeah.
All right, back to the show. Miss Sweet Corn beauty contest. Clark tells Kara about the time capsule and the legend of the treasure. This, I will say this all, the gold, the fucking legend of Curly's gold, it did not register to me while I was doing dishes.
No, I didn't pay attention to this part of the storyline. I don't think the writers did either. It's kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the Kent farm, Clark is working in the barn when Lana comes in and walks quietly behind him. He thinks it's Kara. She puts her hand on his shoulder and he turns around to see Lana. The two embrace. Kind of just Clark doesn't at all go, a ghost! This is Smallville. It could be a ghost or a clone,
right, it could be,
or
totally. That's true. That it's crazy that he doesn't question it more.
Yeah, just
like I've known multiple shapeshifters, like
just at face fucking value.
There are clones in this universe,
right, and or in fact, the faking of her death. Like we buried you.
Although on the other hand, I feel like he's died a couple times and come back. So,
That's true. I have a point I want to make with this, but I'm going to wait for a different moment in the recap that I'm looking at right now. Meanwhile, Carly, one of the girls is from earlier, is talking on the phone about their plan to get the money from this contest. She walks into a flower shop, but the room freezes in seconds. Ooh.
This is another one where, like, how many people with freezing powers have we done on this show?
Yeah, right. Do you just throw a dart of, like, which one can we...
Damn it, the darts keep landing on freezing. Throw the darts over towards fire more.
And I'm not yeah, we haven't done fire a whole lot. I'm not saying over the course of 7 seasons on your action adventure show, there can only be one frozen person. But, like, we've had a lot of frozen people.
I think we're going to get it again, too. I think one more time.
Oh, my God. Guys.
Yeah. Yep. We had one that was remember the cum guy was like, it looked like they were frozen, but it
was cum.
It was like cum. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It was, yeah. What was the cum again?
He was trying to make everyone. He built a fake high school.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And he slathered him in fucking cum. Yeah.
See our episode, a recap of whatever. That was season 4 near the end.
Yeah. Just look for the fucking cum one.
We say cum a lot more in that episode than we've said it here. And
I think so. Someone out there is like, oh, I want to hear him say cum a lot more. Have fun with that.
There's also a lot of people listening who know exactly what episode we're talking about because that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Okay, so in the Kent's house, Lana explains to Clark that she didn't tell him she was going to fake her death because she was trying to protect him. Clark says something to the effect of like, you didn't trust me to help you, huh? And like, bitch, stop.
Clark,
bitch,
shut
the fuck up.
Forever. 1,000 times. He also says, I thought you were dead. If you knew what that felt like. Again, bitch. She literally saw you die once.
Do you watch the show? Do you watch the show? I've seen it, Clark. Shut the fuck up.
If you knew what that felt like.
Oh, my God.
How many times have they thought you were dead, man?
You're an asshole.
Oh. You don't get to guilt trip Lana about any trauma you're feeling.
Right.
Just so you know. I don't think anyone does, but especially you.
Lana Lang is a deeply fucked up woman.
It's over for her. She can only live a shell of a normal life.
Seriously. And I don't think her fate...
No, her fate is not a good one. Let me tell you.
No. It's in Superman and Lois, she's married. She's got a complicated marriage, don't get me wrong, but she's got a couple of kids. She becomes mayor of Smallville. It doesn't
good for her.
It doesn't happen for her here.
No, in this universe, she's never going back to fucking Smallville again. Yeah. Let me tell you that right now. She's like, if they have the Eternal Sunshine technology, she's using it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, erase all my memories from Smallville. I'm excited for you to see how her story ultimately ends.
I do vaguely remember.
Not this season. No, not this season, but when she comes back.
I do know what happens. All right. I have heard previously. Okay. I have previously heard what happens. It's not currently in my brain.
Oh, great. Well, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to rediscover it.
Great. Okay, so at this moment, I believe Chloe is pulling up to the barn, and Clark says something to I can't wait to see Chloe's face when she finds out that you, her friend she mourned and buried, is still alive.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. Gotcha, Chloe.
Just almost like, guess what?
Can't wait to see her stupid face.
So she tells him that Chloe can't know she's alive until she clears her name before reappearing. Clark tells Lana she can stay with him, so she moves in with him.
You can stay in the barn.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad deal at their house. It's a nice barn.
It's a nice barn. So I believe it's quickly we're jumping to, I don't know if we've made it official. We're jumping to like, she's come back for him. They are together now.
Yes, finally, yay! And I'm so happy. This is what I wanted. It's 3 years ago.
3 years ago. It's too little, too late for.
Yes, I'm trying to think if there's a real world equivalent that I've known people who are like. I guess it's when someone gets back together with someone where it ended poorly, and you're like, you guys,
you
I don't
guys.
think this is gonna work.
But there's no real, true, real life equivalent because this is insane.
Right, the amount of baggage that they have between each other. It's
Yeah, right.
I killed your parents. You kind of killed my dad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm an alien, and you got
They still have not addressed the fact that he murdered her parents, and they never will. And that has to come up at some point.
it has to come up at some point. It was the whole point. You didn't tell her before. Kara walks in wearing a red bikini swimsuit and black heels and announces that she's entering the Sweet Corn Beauty Contest. It's a funny bit here where Clark attempts to be like, oh yeah, things are a little complicated. It's like, wow, wow, wee, wow, pretty girl in a bikini.
And then, the soundtrack, and then she comes in half naked.
Clark explains that Kara is his cousin. Lana leaves, giving the two time alone.
It's stupid. It's stupid, but they're all kind of having fun with it.
Yeah,
they're alive.
There's nothing here I'm mad at, really. We're criticizing a lot. I wasn't mad while I was watching it.
No, it's a thing. It's not a great thing, but it's a thing. And last week was not a thing. Last week was no thing.
Last week was no fucking thing. Clark tries to explain she shouldn't bring attention to herself by entering the pageant. Kara points out that Clark got the chance to be a football star. Kara is very, very aware of Midwestern, teenage tropes.
Yeah, she spent a lot of time on Wikipedia that first 48 hours she was there.
Right. Kara points out that Clark got the chance to be a football star. She's, talking about how you got all these things and you got to live this experience and I missed the best years of my life in ice. And what are you talking about?
Yeah, you didn't. First of all, you had those years just on your home planet.
That exploded. And now you're but I didn't get to go to high school here in Kansas?
And two, she's like, you were a football star. I'd be like, wait, how do you know what football is?
Right. This is like we go on Mars.
Yeah,
we're on Mars, and we didn't get to Flibberty Floop, the classic Martian experience of Flibberty Flooping.
I didn't get Flippy Flop Ball. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, and also Clark could have been like, hey, lady, actually, I had to not do that for 4 years before I finally.
Yeah, you didn't know my dad? He fucking sucked with that, man. My dad was like, no, you'll fucking kill a guy.
At least 4 seasons of getting bullied before you get to be the.
Do you know how hard it is to be 6'1" and get bullied?
And I'd be like, Kara, I don't know what Wikipedia article you're reading. These beauty pageants are lame. No one. This is not something. People, whether they're right or wrong, there's people who love football, high school football. It's a big thing. No one gives a fuck about the Smallville Miss whatever pageant.
Right. Man, there are pageant people out there, though.
No, of course there are.
And everyone I've met of them are weird.
Right. It's not like football, though, where it's the American pastime of the 21st century.
Right. No, not at all. And to be clear, also, the pageant people are people who are in the only people who care about pageants are people who do pageants, I think.
Right. It's a whole little.
There's not a lot of pageant spectator giving a shit. Unless you do. You can comment on Spotify.
Yeah, maybe
comment if you're like, hey, actually, there's a rich fucking pageant.
Yeah, totally.
And then I'll definitely.
We're just two assholes.
We're just two fucking assholes
talking about Smallville.
Two entry-level podcast mics. Give us any authority on anything.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, we're doing a recap of the TV show Smallville, and we're talking about how no one cares about something else. Oh, shit. Talk about a glass house.
Yeah, right. I've talked about it before. This was a while back now, but I was on a friend's podcast and just plugged I have the Smallville podcast. And my friend's response was just a beat, and then you're still doing that?
I mean, that's the only sane response.
Seriously.
Good for your friend. That's correct. And guess what? We will finish. This
finish
motherfucking
Smallville,
podcast.
and then we'll find fucking something else to do. I enjoy this.
Oh,
Fuck it.
We're pretty far.
We don't have that long to
Gone
go.
way too far to turn back now.
We usually bang out 2 seasons a year. I think even with a little break in between.
Yeah. We can see Mordor. We're not going back to the Shire until we drop that ring in the fucking Mount Doom. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, baby.
We're right outside of Mordor. Why would we go back there?
Right. With the toughest part.
Yeah.
The part where they really start to fall apart.
We got to cross those mountains, dude.
Yeah.
Those mountains.
Well, here's the good news. The show apparently gets good again.
I was going to say maybe season 7 is actually going up the mountain and dropping the ring in, and then heading back is season
right. And then the scouring of the Shire is season 10, where fucking Saruman comes in and starts fucking wood cutting business in the Shire or some shit. I don't fucking remember. It's not in the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah, the movie.
Hey, John, if it was worth writing, it'd be in the movie.
Theatrical cut only.
Actually, the scouring of the Shire is actually very good and a very important part of the book, but it still doesn't belong in the movie. So shouldn't bring attention to herself by entering pageants. Kara points out that Clark got the chance to be a football star. Clark takes Kara to the barn, where he tries to teach her to control her heat vision. He demonstrates by drawing a face on a watermelon. With his heat vision, but when he gives Kara a chance, she purposely explodes it all over him and announces that she will learn by herself. There's a line here of like, what am I, in kindergarten or something like that, and then blows up the watermelon, and like, yeah, you nearly like fucking, you got lubed up over Jimmy Olsen and nearly set the fucking place on fire. So yeah, right. We're going to do the fucking watermelon drills, actually.
Right. It is interesting. There's a face on the watermelon. So is the metaphor, is this like face shots, or like, what is this? Sorry, that's so graphic. Sorry, anyone at home. We got to put a trigger warning before this episode.
We've been spicy this season. Real adult content.
Would the heat vision, because no one can hear it. Would the heat vision blow up a watermelon?
I don't see why not. Have you ever? I've thrown.
I guess the extreme heat.
Yeah, I've thrown watermelons on bonfires to see what would happen, and yeah, they get a little. Not they don't like properly like explode, but like there's.
But I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah, there's a finale. I guess
he does. He overreacts to the exploding water. He acts like she just exploded one of the cattle or something. Yeah. He's like, that's it. You never leave the house again.
She demonstrated control over she was able to blow up the watermelon.
Like, okay, that was a dick move.
Yeah.
But
okay. Clark gets mad at Kara and storms off. The girls are preparing for the beauty contest. Tyler tells Tempest that she had no choice but to kill Carly. Kara goes up to them and asks for help with her makeup. Tyler ignores her, and Tempest makes a rude remark. The remark here is something like, you need help with more than just your makeup. What are you talking about? She's a very classically attractive 2000s woman.
She's the most gorgeous person in that room.
Yes. What are you
pretty much
talking about? It's a real.
She's clearly like already wearing a ton of makeup.
Right. It's a real season 1, once again, 6 foot a million fucking Tom Welling. Be like, I'm here, a freshman in high school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm afraid of Whitney, the billion-year-old man.
Forgot about Whitney. Bring back Whitney. Hashtag bring
back Whitney. Okay. Kara is upset by their hostility and leaves. As she is walking past the flower shop, she spots the frozen corpse of Carly.
How long has that corpse been sitting
Just
there?
left it there? Just left a fucking what the fuck?
It was a few scenes ago that they froze. Like a few acts, I think.
That's
and
some
then
real, like, someone will get Smallville Medical down here. Well, shouldn't we call 911? Nah, they'll, whatever.
it doesn't make a difference.
She's safer in the ice.
Oh.
Okay.
You want to wait till they're dead and then bring them to Smallville Medical, because then they might come back to life.
Yeah, right. That's.
Their numbers for bringing back to life are better than
It doesn't happen often, but it's not zero.
Yeah, and it's not one. It's greater than one.
It's sort of like CPR. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything, but sometimes it does, and it's crazy. So you have to try. So at Luthor Corp, Agent Carter of the U.S. Department of Domestic Security has arrived to talk with Lex. Agent Carter intends to have his men search for the woman in Lex's drawing. Boring.
Yeah, it is, but even Rosenbaum is way more engaged.
Yes.
Like,
they called off the guy with the gun to his head.
Yes. And I got to look it up. The guy who's in this scene with him, he's a famous character actor. He's in a bunch of stuff.
He did look familiar.
I will find it out. But he's got energy too. You mentioned maybe the direction or something.
That's what I want. I wonder if the director was off, or like a kind of someone they weren't used to, or like I'm attributing the last two episodes to a bad work environment, you know?
It has to have been. Kim Coates is the actor's name. He was in Waterworld. He played a creeper in that. He's in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, they have actual chemistry and energy, and so that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's when Rosenbaum, and we'll see it later in the episode, and I'll bring it up when it happens. When he's engaged, he's one of the best ones on the show.
Absolutely.
He's one of the most
100%.
So it's nice to see him somewhat engaged after being a walking corpse.
Yes.
Last week.
And they let him be, to be clear. Like, they didn't give him fucking anything.
No. Well, they had him act in a room with someone who wasn't there.
It's right. I was gonna make a joke earlier, and then I forgot that it's nice to see this crossover event of Lana on Smallville. I'm used to seeing her on the spin-off show, The Lex Island, where no fun is had.
Oh man, it really is. She's like smiling and making jokes and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so Agent Carter intends to have his men search for the woman in Lex's drawing. Chloe, the drawing, of course, is of the woman who saved Lex underwater from the dam exploding in the shitty premiere. He's looking for this woman. Chloe is meeting Jimmy at the Daily Planet when Jimmy shows her a photo of Carly's frozen corpse. Grant Gabriel, he's the new editor, the handsome new editor, then walks nearby while talking on his cell phone with Lois, who isn't in this episode. He sees the photo and tells Chloe to chase the story. What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, there's a couple things. First of all, this guy, Grant Gabriel, he has charisma.
Yes.
The actor. We'll see if they give him more to do. There's something we didn't mention last week that's very important about him.
What up?
We've seen him before, Brian.
I thought he looked familiar. Hit me with who he is.
He appeared in the 2016 masterpiece, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, as Jimmy fucking Olsen.
Was that him? He gets fucking murked quick, right?
Yes. He is the real Jimmy Olsen in Batman v Superman. And here he is having a scene with the real Jimmy Olsen in Smallville. He's one of the 6 or whatever Smallville actors who appear in the Zack Snyder.
Yeah, wow. And just to spell out your joke to anyone who maybe hasn't been with us for the whole real Jimmy Olsen saga. But so he gets fucking murked in Batman v Superman. And Zack Snyder has gone on to say, well, maybe that's not the real Jimmy Olsen in my
right,
universe.
Yeah. So he is the real Jimmy Olsen, quote marks, just like our Jimmy Olsen is the real Jimmy Olsen, quote.
The fuck? What? Just make Jimmy Olsen Jimmy Olsen. What's with all these fucking bait and switch Jimmy Olsens?
and he's acting in that scene with Amy Adams, who was on Smallville as a different character.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
It's a little Smallville reunion there.
A little small. Do you think they talked about it? You think it came up?
Oh, I feel like it had to.
It
had
didn't.
to have.
Not in
Yes,
a
it
million
did.
years. Not in a
Yes, it
million
did.
years did it come
They were
up.
both on Smallville. It 100% came up. That's all they talked about.
They weren't on set at the same time. At the Kent farm, Clark is telling Lana how hard it is to tell Kara not to use her powers. She tells him to give Kara a chance. Meanwhile, at the Talon, the contestants are rehearsing. I don't know how pageants work, but I guess there would be choreographed numbers for all of the contestants to contribute in at the same time. Makes enough sense to me. Jimmy is there taking photos of the contestants. Kara spots him and gives him a smile as he takes a picture of her. Jimmy then sees Tyler and Tempest heading into the back room and goes after them. They're talking about Carly and say that they need this pageant as a distraction to go after the time capsule. Jimmy snaps a photo of them and leaves. When he gets into the car, cold air suddenly fills up the car through the vents. Everything, including Jimmy, starts to freeze. As Tyler is leaving, she sees Kara pulling off Jimmy's car door with one hand, using his super strength.
I feel like Jimmy is way too slow on the realizing that something's going on. Like, he kind of half-heartedly pulls at the handle. I'd be breaking that fucking window pretty quick.
I'm
if it
like-
started. I'm in Smallville, you know?
I'm out of
Like,
that fucking
something
car.
weird is
I will
happening.
get out of that car.
Exactly. If it gets that cold that quick.
Yeah, no,
like,
no,
it's
no.
not. It's quick enough to realize something's wrong, but not quick enough to where I can't function and kick open the fucking window.
Right. It's fuck that.
This is your guy, Kara. This is your guy.
This is your guy. She likes a scared little boy to take care of a cold little boy. So Lex arrives at the Kent farm to talk with Lana. She asks him if he took care of everything as he said he was going to do, and he tells her, yes, don't trust him. He also asks her to see that everything he did was because he loves her. Lana tells him coldly that he has no right to ask that and goes to the door. Lex tells Lana that Clark had a cousin visiting and that he's looking forward to meeting her.
I still hate this pairing, but
Yeah.
it's amazing what difference being in the same room makes, because they have
Quite a
this
bit.
is a scene, and this is so much more satisfying than the scene we got resolving this story last week.
Right.
So I'm glad we ran it back. I'm glad we ran it back here when they're in the same room. It's a much better scene to end this storyline kind of on.
Yes. Now end it. End it. End it.
I feel like they did. They just handed it off. They like that scene was dying and handed the baton off to the Lex Kara scene at the end.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Great.
It's like, okay, goodbye, Lex Lana. Hello, Lex Kara.
Right.
That's where we're going.
So Clark and Chloe arrive at the hospital where they meet up with Kara, who is watching over Jimmy. Clark is concerned that someone might have seen her use her powers. Kara then gets upset, saying she was too busy saving Jimmy's life and storms off. Chloe gives Clark information on the three girls and that they are meteor freaks and that they've been in the Midwest committing robberies. She also thinks that they plan to steal the time capsule. If the time capsule stuff in this recap feels a little underbaked, it's once again because it is.
Yeah, it's because it's nothing.
I think there's gold in the time capsule and okay.
Kryptonian something or other is in the time capsule.
I think there's gold in the time capsule?
Is it Kryptonian gold?
Oh, there is something Kryptonian, right? Right. But either way, Chloe, in reference to gold, is like, and because of inflation, that's going through the roof. And I'm like, I don't think that's how inflation works, but I don't know. I think
It's gold. It's always been valuable.
I guess so. Maybe gold. I don't know. Whatever. Explain it to me in the Spotify comments if you want. If you fucking want. Okay, Kara's at the Talon.
That's how we get people more engaged. Is we just keep saying outlandish shit about stuff we don't know about, like beauty pageants and gold and stuff. Just
Yeah.
like let's just keep throwing
Yeah,
shit out there that was going to upset people. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
people will
Global
start
warming is
commenting.
all a plot by the lizard people to make the planet more habitable for them, and then they can come out of their shells of politicians and celebrities and live on the Earth free as they intend
Brian,
to.
that's a little too real, though. That's too real.
Just real
That's
shit.
like
That's
obvious.
just real.
Let me out of the vault. I got something to say. No, shut the fuck up.
No. It's I do love that we have him in the vault. He's in the vault, but we do at the end of the show have to let him out to go be the president. Not that we love that. We don't love doing that. It's just he does get in the agreement that we will let him out. Otherwise, we have a whole
curse.
Secret Service
It's
problem.
a curse that Doctor Strange put on the vault.
Right. Right.
If we let Doctor Strange 2 out, can we just have Trump stay in forever? Can we make that deal with him?
I'll talk to him. But I get roped in because I get so fucking mad at that movie.
A movie I've never finished.
It's don't. There's no fucking one day we will. Man, you see fucking Spider-Man 2? This is a good fucking movie.
Spider-Man 2 is great.
Doctor Strange 2 is the opposite of Spider-Man 2.
It's the anti-Spider-Man
It's
2.
the anti-Spider-Man 2. Inside of every man, there are two wolves. Spider-Man 2 and Doctor Strange 2.
And they're both wolves are directed by Sam Raimi.
Yes. Well, those are his wolves. Okay. Let's see. Kara's at the Talon backstage packing her things when Tyler and Tempest come in and tell her that they know she has powers. They also ask for her help in getting the time capsule. When they show her a photo of the time capsule, Kara spots a picture of a Kryptonian medallion in the photo and agrees to help. At night, Tyler and Tempest go to the time capsule and see that Kara has taken the map. They then head off to the pageant and participate until Clark arrives. We see a bit of the pageant, and it's just women in bikinis walking while people clap in the Talon.
Held at the Talon.
Held at the Talon. It's very silly. I could see this as an element of like all the prom stuff, all the prom queen episode. The prom queen episode is really fun. This Miss Sweetcorn feels half-assed.
Yes, that's the thing. It's a bad concept, half-assed.
Yes.
And still the highlight
And
of
still,
this in our show.
I think you're right. I think we have to go 6 episodes back to find an episode I liked this much.
I mean, let's look at it. The last one this good might have been Lex and Clark Underground.
Oh, that's a lot more than 6 ago.
Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, run back the tape.
I'm in Smallville. I'm Googling very slowly episodes. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have 2 this season. Phantom, Noir,
No.
Prototype.
No.
Oh no, Nemesis. That's the last one.
Which one was Nemesis?
That's the one with their
Oh, yeah, wow.
Clark and Lex.
Yeah.
That's episode 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stinkers. So 6 episodes ago.
Wow.
Wow.
And similarly, Nemesis is not like an all-time great episode of Smallville.
I mean, I think it's a really good one. I think
I would put it firmly in the good column. It's not on my top 5.
I think we voted it the best one of season 6.
Yeah, I'm with you, but like it's not on my top 5 episodes of all time.
Definitely better than this episode.
Sure. It ain't great though. Ain't nothing in season 6 great.
Oh, come on. There's some Green Arrow stuff. That's fun.
Oh yeah, that feels like so fucking long ago. No, yeah, okay. Early season 6 is all right. It falls off. I remember now.
It's just what a way to end it with all those lame episodes and to start this season.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're out of it now. We're in Miss Sweetcorn.
Miss Sweetcorn is here, and we're turning it all around. Okay, at the Luthor Mansion, Lex is talking with Carter again about the woman in the drawing. He says that the woman he's looking for doesn't exist. What? That can't. That's not. That can't.
What? What do you mean? What are you confused about?
You just, based on a drawing, you can't go like, nah, there's no lady like this. We looked. There's no this lady. You draw her right?
Oh, well, in his defense, the drawing doesn't really look
It doesn't
like her.
look like her at all.
No. And like, it'd be one thing if Lex wasn't a good artist, but it's a good drawing.
Right.
It looks like a person.
Vandervoot has a very distinctive nose, right?
Yeah.
And this drawing does not have it at all.
In Lex's defense, he saw her underwater one time.
And that's enough for a United States government fucking finder person.
I looked.
No,
There's
it's not here. Not on this planet.
Oh, shit.
Okay, she is just a fantasy. He gives information on other events happening in Smallville. Back at the pageant, Kara is selected as the winner. She is Miss Sweetcorn. But the sheriff comes and arrests her.
On stage. He can't even wait.
Can't even fucking wait.
And he brings like 4 guys up there with him in case she puts up a fight.
I truly thought like I missed something with like they're coming and arresting Kara, and I like backtrack, and then decided I didn't care.
I'm sad that the other sheriff got killed off, so we didn't get. Mrs. Can't.
Yeah, we don't have a named sheriff right now. That's what Smallville's missing is a named sheriff.
No one gives a fuck about this guy.
Nah, I don't fucking care about this guy.
Apparently, the budget though is gone way up because, like I said, he's got like 4 other dudes up there with him.
Well, I didn't see. Yeah, right.
Beauty pageant arrests.
This is a big sell. This is a big one. This one's going in all the papers, so like you want to make sure the force is coming out strong. Clark arrives at the sheriff's office to talk to Kara, who is in a holding cell. He fusses at her for stealing the map, and she explains the treasure is Kryptonian, but claims she didn't tell him because he's been completely uninterested in and condescending towards her. This is whatever.
She's not a kid.
It's unclear how old she's supposed to be. It's here. I was like, wait, is she supposed to be like a high schooler? We've overly sexualized her.
Well, that's because she's in her mid-20s.
Right.
She's in her mid-20s. She's acting like a 12-year-old.
Right.
You've been condescending toward me. It's like I'm trying to. You're on a different planet, lady.
So close to fucking it up. So bad.
You don't know. Have a little humility.
Seriously.
When you're going to a new planet.
Just come on. Come on.
If we were on Mars and, my Mars cousin was like, hey, don't pick up the Mars rocks like that. I'd be like, don't fucking condescend to me. I'll throw these Mars rocks over I want. That's not how we treat the rocks here.
They're living, breathing organisms here on Mars, and it hurts them. Don't fucking tell me!
I hate you and I hate your rocks.
I don't want to play Liberty Blurp anymore. Okay, so Kara wants to simply bend the bars and walk out, but he convinces her to stay put until Chloe can get her out legally. Clark insists that Kara tell him where the map is, but she admits a freak gust of wind blew it away. Did we see this? Did this happen?
I don't think.
Genuine question. What?
No. That's the thing. I watched the episode and I don't have memory of that.
It didn't come up in the recap. It's hey, what map?
It's a clone. I don't wait.
I wonder if we're what? That's really just. I kind of thought I missed
Either way,
something.
Brian. Either way, it's on them. It's not on us. It's on them.
It's on them.
Either way,
Yes.
it's on them.
So Clark insists Kara tell him where the map is, but a freak gust of wind blew it away. Exasperated, Clark walks away, and Chloe diffuses the situation by asking Kara to explain what was on it. At a gas station in town, Tyler and Tempest have dug the treasure up, but think that it is nothing. Clark appears, and Tempest uses her powers and throws a tornado at him, which unearths meteor rocks, weakening him. Kara shows up and stops both Tempest and Tyler. Clark thanks her, and they embrace.
The wrap up is like real quick.
Yeah, it's...
And they don't explain how'd she get out of jail, so she broke out. Did she go back in afterward? How does that resolve?
Yeah, God, fuck. They spent all the money on shooting outside that one day.
Which I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they did. It looked great. The next day, Clark and Kara talk about the Kryptonian medallion. She tells him it must be an SOS. She says she got a job at the Talon as a waitress and will work hard on fitting in and not exposing her powers. But Clark needs to realize that the two of them will never be human. Hey, I don't know if the Talon is the best place for Kara to be.
Yeah.
The place that Lex owns that we're going to be reminded of?
Yeah. Wait. There's so many other places she could work. Or not work. She doesn't need to have a job. She could just hang out at the farm.
She could just hang out at the farm.
I have a quick note that I forgot.
Work on the farm. Work on the farm. This is Kara. She works on the farm.
Which they need. They have no help on the farm. 2 Kryptonians, you got that place working.
You can fucking expand.
You can break it. Yeah, exactly. Buy more land. In the previous scene when Kara comes to save the day, she throws the 2 beauty pageant ladies like 30 miles and like, into some shit. I'm gonna count 2 concussions because Clark and her have like 2-minute dialogue scene afterwards, and neither of those ladies is fucking moving. So either they're dead or those are concussions.
Yeah. Unless they're embracing on 2 broken fucking necks. The next day, okay, sorry, we got that. Clark needs to realize that the two of them will never be human. She tells Clark he's fooling himself if he thinks he can live a simple life growing old with Lana. Jimmy is dropping Chloe off at the apartment when he remarks that he is now beginning to understand Chloe's previous assumptions that all metahumans eventually become psychotic. I forgot when I was watching this that Chloe is a meteor freak.
I wrote down this note. Stop trying to make us care about this Chloe is a meteor freak plot. Cut and run.
Just cut and run. Just cut and run. Don't bring it up again. I forgot.
Exactly. We forgot. You could have left it there and it was over.
She lost it. She used it. She could bring somebody back to life once, and then it's gone.
It was a one-time thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Like it. He declares that he will help her rid the town of meteor-infected people. Kara interrupts to pick up her bag. Already pretending not to be upset, Chloe notices Kara and Jimmy sharing a long look.
Uh-oh.
The classic Chloe uh-oh look.
If I was Chloe,
Yeah.
I would be worried for sure.
The classic Chloe uh-oh.
That's like if my girlfriend shared a moment with Ryan Gosling all of a sudden. I'd be jealous of both of them, actually.
I had a boss once who he was like boss's boss. And then our department didn't have a boss for a minute, so he was managing our department, and it was weird. Didn't like this rich guy in our thing. In our hole.
Yeah.
It was bad and weird. But there was one of the few human moments we had was he had mentioned that day his wife was shooting something with the rock. And like he was just like, I hate this actually. I want today to be over.
Yeah, that's rough.
Okay. Clark and Lana are walking through the carnival. Just the carnival. Lana tells Clark she thought he wouldn't forgive her for marrying Lex. Clark tells her nothing could change the way he feels about her. Lana tells him she never, like, they go 0 to fucking 60. Like, we're together now. Like,
I mean, they better be. It'd
They
be funny
you-
if Clark was like, we can
Uh,
take it slow.
yeah,
Can we?
yeah.
Well, ha- no word on if he's figured out boning yet. They haven't had that conversation.
They haven't had that conversation, but at least she like knows now it's a deal, and you can figure out like Clark. There's other stuff.
Yes, exactly. I would be so mad if I was her. I'd be like, "Oh, this was the reason."
Just the
You
boning
idiot.
thing, yeah. Lana tells him she never wants the past to come between them again, and she wants them to be always together. So they decide to start dating again. I don't think it's really they decide there. I think they're kind of talking presumably,
Yeah.
but Wiki, it's fine.
Dating. They're going to live together. She's staying at the house.
We're just
Like,
yeah, right. We're not dating now. We're
a thing.
we're in this.
Yeah.
After one of Lex's men reports to Lex, they found the girl in his drawing. Lex approaches Kara as she is leaving the Talon. Once again, just based on this drawing, like, yeah, I don't know. Well, the nose isn't the same. But the facial structure isn't really that similar, but
I do like this scene. I think it's a
I
good scene.
also think it's a really good scene. Not the writing, not Vandervoot. Just, it's good Rosenbaum, man.
It is. He's channeling old school Lex a little bit. Where like he has that line. It's kind of heartbreaking. He's like, I protected you already, and I would have protected other people if they trusted me.
Yes.
I.e. Clark. Like,
Yes.
So like my friend Clark, who I love, I would have protected him if he had just been open, and then maybe I wouldn't have lost my fucking mind. I've all these concussions and gone to the mental institution.
Right.
And been a supervillain.
But there is, I think, a good bit of, as we bring Lex back to a status quo, a season 1 status quo, I do think there is a fun bit of tension here of like, I don't fucking trust you anymore. Me, Brian, watching this, you know?
Oh no. It is, yeah, exactly. It's like we're kind of going back, but also he's gone too far.
I think it's gone. I don't think you can get it back with me. And I would love for you to be able to get it back, Lex, but I don't think you can. I think Christmas episode had ended. Lexmas ended it.
Yeah. Yes. It's only gone worse from there, for sure.
You made a choice at Lexmas, and it's never recovered from there. Okay, so Lex approaches Kara as she's leaving the Talon. He thanks her for saving his life at the river, but she denies being there. Lex doesn't buy it and warns her that he'll find out the truth. Once again, Lex, what else is there to put together?
Right. You clearly know so much. You know.
What questions do you have left?
You know about Kryptonians.
Yeah.
You know about meteor freaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be one of those, right? It's like either he's from another planet or he's a meteor freak. But I feel like the signs, once you know about the Kryptonians, the signs are all there.
Yeah. It would just ask a question. Ask a direct question.
I would love it if he just went to Clark, even at this point. Was like, look, here's what I think the situation is.
And I'm just going to watch your face as I tell it to you.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, if I'm right, there's no reason for you to keep doing this.
Right. Look,
we don't have to be friends again. Just stop gaslighting me, man. I'm losing. I'm hanging on by a fucking thread.
I get 3 opportunities to sit at a table.
Dangerous.
Yes. I get 3 opportunities to sit at a table across from you. I get to tell you what I think and watch your face. You don't have to say shit. But if I get it, we can just be like, yeah, that's it. Featured music this episode. We have music this episode. I don't recognize any of these. East Side Glamour Queen by Boink. Mindful of Daggers by Juliet and the Licks. Baby Blue by Homie. Bomb by Boink. A double Boink show. And Gain the World by Mort Chiba featuring Mandy Zamolo.
It's nice to. I don't recognize any of that stuff, but it's nice to have Needle Drops back.
I love it. I miss Needle Drops.
We had so few last season, and now we're coming out strong with them. So that's nice.
This is the 3rd time a tornado has appeared in Smallville. The first time was in the episode Tempest, and that's the name of the character.
Tornado or Tempest?
The Tempest was the name of one of the girls. That's funny. Let's see. This is the first episode Jimmy Olsen appears in since being billed in the opening credits.
The real Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
The real Jimmy Olsen, of course. I'm just quick browsing through for anything interesting. In the shot of Smallville Street at the beginning of this episode, the shop with Smallville furnishings on its front was the same building used as Fordman's department store. It's possible that the Fordman's department store has either been sold or gone out of business since the deaths of Whitney and his dad.
Thank you, Picky. Yep.
It
is possible. That is a possibility.
That is certainly possible. This is the first episode of Smallville to feature a Smallville sheriff in the final cut of an episode since the death of Sheriff Nancy Adams in the season 5 episode Lockdown. Another sheriff appeared in a film scene for the episode Tomb, but that scene didn't make it into the episode.
Oh no, Tomb was one of the all-time worst, wasn't it? Wasn't that the ghost, Chloe?
Yes, Tomb's a bad one. Oh, this is funny.
I wonder now if we watch Tomb, if we'd be so hard on it.
Yeah, ahead, right. This is funny. Kara and Jimmy, that's a comic thing. Not a thing. I'm talking like old, like 60s era. But that was the thing. All right. I'm coming around on it a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's always a good idea. It's just, we'll see if they have any heat.
Right. That's also any combination of fucking anything has happened in Superman. That could be intentional or not.
Right.
A deleted scene.
Just wait for the Lex Jimmy.
Yeah, right.
Plot. How are we gonna get?
A deleted scene for this episode shows Kara performing a magician's act for the talent portion of the Miss Sweetcorn pageant, with Clark as a volunteer. Kara used her super speed to transition herself from behind a purple curtain to the back row of an audience, earning mass applause from the audience. Should have left that in the show. Should have left that in the fucking show. You could have cut any other fucking scene out. It's not like the plot of this episode made any fucking sense.
I don't buy Clark participating.
No, yeah, that's true.
Magic trick.
This is the 16th episode in a row Clark wears his red jacket and blue shirt attire. This is the longest span of episodes he's worn it so far.
I mean, it keeps going for a while.
Yeah.
I think. Or he does do the blue coat with red. He switches it up sometimes.
Right. Let's see here. Just looking for, I think that's about it for interesting stuff. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Talon Mix. We should be back next week with, I hope it's this level of all right.
I believe next week is the Dean Cain episode.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm definitely falling off soon. We are definitely quickly approaching episodes I haven't seen before. Maybe? I don't know. Dean Cain.
Probably it's around the same time.
Yeah.
Part of the reason was I think I was working nights at the time. And so I didn't have a DVR. So it was like, sometimes I would DVR to my mom's and sometimes, so yeah, pretty soon is when I lose track of him for a season.
Dean Cain, we have to make sure we've humored talking about the adventures of Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman, a handful of times. I gotta put together like a deep dive package on that.
Great.
Or so in some form to talk about.
That'll carry us next week.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's fucking it. Thank you for listening. I have a Substack, a newsletter. It goes right into your email every week. It's called Dirtbag Nostalgia. Dirtbagnostalgia.substack.com. It's like a
lot of fun.
A smelly collection of weird old stuff from wrestling magazines, horror magazines, etc., etc. I think it's pretty fun.
It's a blast.
Thank you, man. Zach, do you have any other thoughts or a question for the Smallville gods?
I'll ask the Smallville gods. Is Brian gonna remember to do a Dean Cain deep dive next week?
No, I'm not. Oh my God, I am? I am?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It has been written.
Fuck.